Alright, what is up y'all? We're here today for Late as Fuck for PCL Week 3 going against NoPunIntended and his Philadelphia Aegislash. Now, you can see his team on the screen, and you should already be as fucking shooketh as I was whenever I was team building for this shit, because this man has a scary team. I feel like I say that a lot, but this man has one of the scariest teams in the league in my opinion. Like, holy shit. Man has Lando T, another Greninja. We have to play a third Greninja, which is great, but hey, after this Greninja, we have to play no more Greninjas until if we somehow make it to playoffs, which is looking doubtful. But we got a Greninja right there. Regular Kyurem is looking scary. Rotom I'm not too worried about. Licky Licky's annoying. Aegislash, that is an Aegislash. Yep, that's what that is. Ditto is always annoying, and then stuff like Infernape and Mega Medicham. Man's got wall breakers, man's got sweepers, man's got a bunch more wall breakers, and then he's got some bulk kind of shoved in there too, which is looking like a threat. So this matchup is not very good for me, not even gonna lie. I started building and I was like, wow, I don't really like my team, and then I kind of realized like this matchup is kind of shit. Like I had these first 5 mons, but the last one changed like literally 10 times. So up until the day of the battle, this was a different mon every time. But we're going to start off here with Expert Belt Pyroar. Now this set was looking fun as fuck because it actually puts in work versus his team. It's one of the few things I have that can deal with Aegislash, kinda, because Sacred Sword is in fact a thing. But I was excited to bring Pyroar. Originally this was going to be Z move with the with Flame Charge, but I was kind of worried about stuff like Mach Punch, stuff like Fake Out, stuff like Scarf Infernape, and all those things were threats. Also Water Shuriken, so that ended up changing, and we went ahead and stuck Bulldoze on. And we're going to start at the bottom, because we are Moxie fucking Pyroar with Bulldoze, specifically for this Nihilego over here, which is a huge threat to my team. If it wants to be Choice Scarf, then it can kind of just click attacks every turn. Like, he can just whittle me down and then kind of just clean up with Scarf and Nihilego and just, you know, rack up those beast boosts, and we can't let that happen. So I'm gonna bulldoze the shit out of that thing with our 68 attack stat here, and I don't know, man, this set was looking clean as fuck. I was really happy whenever I fucking was building this, because this looks awesome. Fire Blast, Hyper Voice, Hidden Power, Grass hits pretty much his whole team, and then Bulldoze obviously there for the Nihilego. Now obviously Pyroar is quite frail, and it's not the strongest boy in the world, but hey, it's a Pyroar. It has a name that I'm still like 60% ashamed of here, but hey, whatever. Then we have our Adrenaline Orb Tapu Lele. So what I'm going to hope for here is that this man leads off with Scarf Landorus, intimidates the fuck out of me, gives me the +1 speed, and then I get I imagine he'll have a little bit of bulk because he doesn't need, you know, max speed, I don't believe. So he'll probably have a tiny little bit of bulk, maybe less than 100 EVs or so. And if that's the case, then I do have a small chance to OHKO with the Psychic. So I'm hoping that this man leads right off with the Scarf and just lets me click Psychic and kill that thing. Now his only Dark type is a Greninja, and Greninja is not something you can just go swapping around on a Tapu Lele, you know. So hopefully that's a kill that I can pick up. That'd be clean. But to help 1v1. I was gonna say to help 1v1, but to help just deal with Aegislash in general, just to, you know, kind of weasel my way around having to predict. We have Substitute on there, so if he wants to King Shield up, or if he wants to Swords Dance or do stuff like that, then I am gonna have Substitute, and I can. That means I don't have to predict basically. So now looking at it, I really should have had Nature's Madness, but Shadow Ball was looking like the option here, just so we'd have something to be able to actually touch the Aegislash. Now, if he is Spadef Aegislash, which I think that's what I would bring versus me, because obviously there's a Tapu Lele, even fucking Spadef Aegislash deals with Kartana pretty nicely, so it's not too terrible. And then also it actually allows him to take a hit from fucking Pyroar as well. I'm having a hard time saying the names of my mons today, what the hell. But you know me, I love Tapu Lele, I love clicking Psychic, and this is looking clean. So next we have just Max Fizdef, Rocky Helmet, Vaporeon. This thing is here to it has, you know, its Spadef naturally is very good, so it's here as kind of just an all-around defensive check to the Aegislash, whereas Pyroar here is more of an offensive check to to said Aegislash, because if he wants to hit me with Steel Stab, it's not doing diddly dick. If he wants to hit me with Ghost Stab, it is literally doing nothing. So, yeah. Basically, we got Scald, Wish, Toxic, and Roar. This set, I wanted to have other coverage like Hidden Power Grass or something like that on here, but we actually really need Roar so that Aegislash can't just sit there and be annoying in our face. So if he wants to set up SDs and stuff like that, I can at least roar him out. If he's, I don't know why, man, but I was actually worried about sub Aegislash because that thing 1v1s me completely if I do not have roar. So hopefully that's not the case. But if it is, we have the roar on there. But it's still annoying to deal with. Next, we have one of my favorite Kartanas, man. Fucking Z, Tailwind, Flynium, Akame, the shiny Kartana with Leaf Blade, Night Slash, Tailwind, and Psycho Cut. Now, I'm really like OCD with shit like this, so I kept looking at the matchup all week, up literally until the day of the battle, and I kept changing the sets. This was originally going to be a Gracium Z. After I took off the Z Crystal from Pyroar and I decided I wanted it on Akame, it was Gracium, and then I was Steelium, and then I decided on Flynium. And this looked like a lot of fun, and honestly, I wanted to bring this very badly. So what Z Tailwind does is it gives you a 100% crit chance on moves that have a crit chance. So Leaf Blade, Night Slash, and Psycho Cut all have a crit chance. They will all crit 100% of the time. That means that even if I am minus attack from his King Shield, then I will still get a crit, and the drops will not matter, which is amazing. I originally was running like sub SD 2 attacks with Gracium, if I'm not mistaken. And even then, that still required me to predict like 50% of the time versus Aegislash, and that was just not fun. So I wanted something to where I could just click buttons, and whether that's gonna bite me in the ass or not, we'll see. But that's what we did, and here we are, you know. And I think it's gonna be a clean ass set. So Akame is here with the Flynium Z. I'm gonna set up that Tailwind, and hopefully I can just crit my way to victory. Then we have our Flame Orb Jolteon here, which basically I just needed something to be able to outspeed Scarf Lando, outspeed Scarf Grin, outspeed Scarf Nihilego, outspeed all the things. And Jolteon was the option for that. So Volt Switch, T-Bolt, HP Ice, and Shadow Ball. Excuse me. It gets pretty decent coverage versus this whole team. Trying to figure out whether HP Ice or HP Grass was kind of a problem, but I figured, honestly, I do have an Akame right there. I have Toxic on Patty Vapes, I have HP Grass on Pyroar, as well as pretty strong Psychic and Moonblast, and it's a Haxorus, which is also very strong. So hopefully I can just straight up attack that man and just not have to worry about the ground. It's kind of like whenever I have dual ground on a team, or dual something like, because he has dual ground and dual fighting, so I'm expecting either Infernape or Mega Medicham, and I'm expecting either Landorus or Seismitoad. So hopefully it goes down like that. But Landorus is such a good ground type, it might not even be considered a ground type anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's Landorus and it's coming to the battle. So we'll see. But yeah, that's Jolteon. I like some Flame Orb. This boy is speedy as fuck, and he's here. He is here. Then last but not least, we have a Lumberry Sub DD Haxorus. This thing, if I can get an SD up, which is looking like it might be a little tough, but if I can get an SD up, it's going to be fun as hell. We will have quite the attacking power there, and hopefully it can help us blow a hole through his team for either Tapu Lele or Pyroar or Akame to be able to kind of just clean up there in the end. So that's going to be the team. Let's go ahead and jump right on into the battle. Boop. So here we are. Shoutouts to Metagross Man for recording this for me, and like I said again, guys, I am sorry that this went up so late. It was my birthday week last week, so like cut me a little slack, but also some other factors were a thing. But so as you can see, he does bring the double ground. He brings Aegislash, of course. That is a Rotom-Mow there, which is it's hard to find a switch into Rotom-Mow, but Greninja, of course, and Infernape, of course. So we gotta see, what's all gonna go on here. So I am gonna lead right off with Tapu Lele. As we talked about, I am Adrenaline Orb. I'm just fucking hoping that he's gonna lead off with the Landorus, and I can get my boost. So we're hoping, we're praying. We see Narth. What the hell is that? That is 100% not the Landorus. So we lead off with Tapu Lele. When you lead off with a Tapu Lele, it kind of it kind of makes the opponent think that it's going to be Scarf. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out here. If he is Scarf, I think he's going to U-turn, and I think Patty Vapes is going to be what we need to scout here. So I'm Rocky Helmet. He is just going to go for the U-turn, and that's going to do a little bit to me. Is going to do almost the exact same amount to him, and he is going to swap on out of there. Now he does get the switch initiative, of course, and he's actually going to go out into Greninja. So immediately I was like, fuck, man, this guy's going to like go for spikes or T-spikes or something. I'm going to go right on out to Jolteon to be able to force this guy out as soon as possible. And yep, we see the T-spike go up. I also wanted to get my Flame Orb before this potential T-spike went up. So we're burned. I decided to go with Haxorus instead of removal at the very end, so that's going to be kind of shitty because I cannot get those T-spikes away. So we're going to go right to Tapu Lele. I'm doubling out, predicting either the Landorus or the Seismitoad. I'm trying to get this fucking Intimidate, man. I'm trying so hard to get this Intimidate so I can get my boost. But unfortunately, he does go out to Rotom mode, but that is not terrible because now we do have a Tapu Lele in Psychic Terrain versus that thing, so I can just click Psychic, except I'm 100% sure he's going to Aegislash. I'm clicking Shadow Ball, and I'm praying for a Spadef drop, like, good god. So as you can see, that does, like, barely 35 to Aegislash, and man, Aegislash appreciates leftovers so much. It's uncanny how much that man loves his 6% every turn. So, I kind of, you know, I'm forced out. He beats me 100% of the time. But, I don't want to switch out. So I'm just going to go for the sub, kind of predicting him to kind of see what I'm going to do, as he does go into his Infernape, I guess predicting me to go into my Pyroar or something along those lines. And yeah, so now he can go for the U-turn, he can break my sub. I'm just going to click Moonblast, which is my strongest attack since the Psychic Terrain ended. And hopefully we're going to start putting a dent in his team. So he U-turns out, of course, smart play, always. And he's going to go right on out into the Rotom. We're going to go for that Moonblast. It's gonna do a pretty decent amount. Tapu Lele is a strong girl, and it does right at half. So we're poisoned as fuck. It's not looking good. We are very sick right now. But at least Moonblast can take out this Rotom-mo. And we don't have to worry about getting Willowed, getting Volt Switched all over. And there's a little bit less pressure on Vaporeon now, which is nice because Vaporeon has all the pressure on him right now. Like, Vaporeon has to check fucking Infernape, Aegislash, Lando. It's not looking fun. So I don't really see the point in preserving Lele. I'm just going to let it go down. He can U-turn out, and at least that means I will get the switch initiative this time. I said the snitch initiative. Snitches get stitches, you know? So he's going to go right on out into Seismitoad, and I'm going to go into Pyroar. So me going into Pyroar, one would assume that I'd be going for the HP Grass here. So I'm actually going to click Hyper Voice, predicting him to scout out for the HP Grass. He goes into Narth, which is that Infernape, which is clean because I will take damage on this thing any day of the week. So we're going to go for that Hyper Voice. It's not going to do that much because Pyroar isn't that good, but it's a chunk, you know? So now I figured he would just like either U-turn out or something because I have that Vaporeon that's Rocky Helmet and he's looking awful low. But that man just straight up goes for CC, predicting me to overpredict, and good play on his part. He made a lot of good plays. I made a few, but this man made a lot of solid plays. So we're going to go into Scoot here. It's the only thing I have that can outspeed this thing. I do have Vaporeon, which would make him take a lot more chip, but yeah, we're going Jolteon. So he goes into Mince. I'm just going to throw off a Shadow Ball. I wasn't sure if he was going to go into Lando or if he was going to go into Seismitoad, so he does go into Seismitoad. Again, we do not get the Spadef drop, which I kind of have to hope for every single turn because Scoot's matchup in this game is not great, seeing as how he has two ground types. So we go into this man. He's going to go right for the Earthquake, and since he did stay in and go for the Earthquake, I'm kind of thinking he's Rindo Berry. And then I start really wishing that I was Unnerve instead of Moxie on Pyroar, because then he wouldn't be able to eat his berry, which is unfucking fortunate. So he's gonna go out into Jake as I click Toxic, just trying to get some chip onto this Seismitoad. But yeah, so now at least if he Sash, it will be broken since I don't have Rocks up because I'm a bad player. And Greninja's over here sickly. We were just a bunch of poisoned ass water types out here right now. So depending on his set, I do have a chance to live this Dark Pulse. I'm not exactly sure. But once again, Vaporeon gets Vaporeon gets hacked by a Dark Pulse. It doesn't matter because he's Life Orb, but like still, man, why do all these Greninjas keep fucking up my Vaporeon? Like Vaporeon did nothing to you. He's just here trying to hold the team down, and he's getting fucking flinched. He's getting crit. He's getting all kinds of fucked up. So, fucking Jolteon puts me in a tough place every single time. So I'm actually gonna double out to the Haxorus here, and this man, no pun, with his giant balls of steel is gonna actually stay the fuck in and go for the U-turn, predicting me to double out. So, like I said, this man is playing well right now. He does take 10% from his Life Orb, which is good, I guess, but now he gets to go right on out into his Scarf Landorus and intimidate me. So, I was looking at it, and I have a chance to live this Earthquake, so I'm actually just gonna click Dragon Dance, and that does not work. I don't know if he got the roll or if he just I took a little bit too much chip from the U-turn, but I was pretty sure I lived that, and then I died, and I was like, welp, I think this is looking like game. So we have 2 Mons left. This man has 5. I'm gonna it's time to put our dicks on the table. You know what I mean? It's time to whip it out, dangle it, and put it on the table. So I'm gonna go right for my Z-Tailwind. I've never actually seen the animation for Z-Tailwind before. I've never used, I guess, Flynium Z, I don't think. So we're going to go right for the Z-Tailwind. Look at that. We're some speedy boys right now. So he's probably going to want to keep Landorus around. Either way, I can just go for the Leaf Blade. It really doesn't matter what I click at this point. So, yeah. And going into Grin was actually a really good play, because if I predicted him going into Aegislash, I would be clicking Dark Move, which probably wouldn't kill the Grin. Oh, I don't. Never mind. It's a crit and it's a Kartana. I'm probably killing the Grin. So we get our attack boost, and now he can go out into Aegislash. And I don't like pausing it, but I'm actually going to pause it here because this turn is huge. So at this point, I do not have enough Tailwind turns to win the game. All I can do is hope and fucking pray that I can get some differential and hope for the best. So the fact that I was instantaneously sub on this when I first started building, I kind of thought he should be fearing the sub. So I was like, because if I sub here, that means I probably still don't win, but I could probably get it down to a 2-0 or so. So I was like, man, you know what? We just gonna click Night Slash, because the King Shield is so obvious, but he does just go for the King Shield, wasting that Tailwind turn, making just not the mid-ground play, but just making just the safe play. And so we do get our attack harshly lowered. And as you can see, he gets his chip. I mean his chip recovery, that is. And now I go for the Night Slash. I will get a crit. The drop will not matter. He lives on fucking so little, man. He lives on so little. That's just leftovers recovery. That's all that is. No. And then he goes down to she goes down to a Shadow Ball. And it's just a fucking sad day up in this bitch, let me tell you. This Aegislash here is looking weak AF. My Tailwind peters out, and it's just Scoot versus the world, man. So, he can just, he's just gonna King Shield, go ahead and get a little bit more Flame Orb chip on me. Yep, and at this point, he should know I don't have HP Grass. And if I do, I'm pretty sure he has the Rindo, so it probably doesn't matter. But I go for Hidden Power Ice, just trying to catch him on a choke, get that other differential point down if possible. And I was kind of hoping I could scare him out into not going Seismitoad. So we do just go for the Shadow Ball. I'm not sure if that worked or not, or if he just didn't care and wanted to just guarantee the 3-0. But that boy does go down. And now, like I said, we do find out at the end of the battle, he sent me his squad, and he was actually Rindo, so at least that's one read I kind of got correct. But yeah, we do not have, can confirm, do not have HP Grass, and Shadow Ball just doesn't do enough. So Seismitoad is going to Earthquake, our poor second evolution of the team, and just destroy that man. We actually have no HP or defensive investment. There's no way we're living that at all. And that's going to be the game. We lose 0-3 to NoPunIntended and the Philadelphia Aegislash and an Aegislash. So, good game to him. That was a solid game. Honestly, Like I said, I tried to have a little bit more fun with it this week because we are not doing so well in the PCL, guys. I am 0-3. I've never been 0-3 in my life. In my entire draft league career, I have never been 0-3. So, go ahead and roast me in the comments section. Let me know, what is going on. Go ahead and tell me the quality of my playing is worse than the quality of Flint, Michigan's water. Go ahead and tell me stuff like that. Make it a little bit clever so I'll at least get a laugh out of it. But just give me some. Yeah, I need stern fucking. I need to be sternly shit on so I can get my shit together. But the good news is we don't have to play any more Greninjas. That is 3 Greninjas in a row, and they're all fucking out of the way. So hopefully we can get that shit out of we can get our shit together and stop sucking at this game. But that's going to go ahead and do it. Definitely check out NoPunIntended. I still need to watch his side. I'll probably go do that right after I'm done recording this, honestly. So definitely check out his link. It is in the description. Go ahead and go ahead and subscribe, do all that bullshit, and don't forget to roast me in the comment section. And I'll see you later. Bye forever.